Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Sue, and you've just stepped into Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Every week, I'll introduce you to a friend of mine, a remarkable entrepreneur who's not just changing the world, but also harnessing a secret weapon, time outdoors. Together, we'll dive into their journey, unpack invaluable business advice, and discover why embracing the wild is not just good for the soul, but also a goldmine for inspiration and innovation. Ready to uncover the secret that's boosting bottom lines and fueling joy? Hit subscribe and join us in the wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to introduce to you Dennis Fowler. He's the co-founder of Sailing Lake Clark. It's a unique adventure company offering crewed charters in the breathtaking Lake Clark, that's hard to say, Lake Clark National Park, and it rhymes, which is awesome. Dennis and his team provided unforgettable experiences aboard their 50-foot sailing catamaran, the Odyssey. Guests can explore the stunning landscapes of Lake Clark, witness diverse wildlife, and enjoy activities like kayaking, paddleboarding, and hiking. With customized itineraries, Sailing Lake Clark offers a sense of serene adventure, and it's a way to experience one of the most remote national parks in the United States. Get ready to meet an entrepreneur who's redefining the way that we explore Alaska's wilderness. Dennis, welcome to Entrepreneurs Gone Wild.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction. How are you doing?
Doing great. This is going to be so much fun. And guys, we're both on Starlink, so if we freeze, just bear with us. We'll try to edit it out, but you never know. It does weird sci-fi stuff up there. So this is where we're going to dive in. I'm so excited. This is so cool. I've been looking forward to this. Dennis, let's talk about through the first question that I always ask, which is, who do you serve and what problem are you helping to solve for them?
Well, primarily I serve my family. I mean, the whole idea behind this was my wife. We were camping. I built a boat, a 17-foot skiff that my son and I had built. We built it in my wife's dining room with the deal. I had it like screwed to the floor and epoxy and dust everywhere. And she's like, "You can do this." I couldn't do it outside because it's too cold for the epoxy to cure outside. She's like, "You can do this, but when you're done, I get a new dining room and new garden doors."
Ooh.
Okay. So
it just strikes a hard bargain.
So we built the boat, and that really opened up the lake to our family, so we could go out. I love boat camping. Like I like having all the food, all the drinks, all the stuff when I'm camping. I don't want to carry everything. I'm lazy.
Really?
So we go, so we had some awesome weekend adventures and everything. But one morning we got up, did everything. We went off for a hike, went up to a waterfall, came back, and there's bear prints all around our tent.
Oh.
And my wife says, I'd feel a lot safer if we were camping out in the water a little bit.
Yeah. And
so that really, that was kind of the beginning. It took time for all that to develop, but that's the first problem was, I want my family to be happy. I want my wife to feel safe. I want her to enjoy life. So this adventure for us is probably more for my family than it is for customers.
Mm-hmm.
But customers are, we've developed something that we love, and then that allows us then to share it with people that would never have that opportunity otherwise. Yeah. So, whether it's families or couples because you can do Alaska cruises. You can cruise from Seattle, get on a huge ship, with a couple thousand people and go from Seattle up. And that's fun. Like we like that. You're taken care of, you see things, you're in a new place every day. But there's a lot of people. And that's something we can offer here that even the national parks down in the lower 48 can't offer you. You can't go someplace and camp for days on end and not see anybody.
No, it's impossible.
Especially in a national park.
Yeah.
And so we have, I'm not sure if I just turned can you hear me still?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I bumped my earpiece and it beeped. I wasn't sure what that meant. So we can go out, we're in to get here, you have to fly from Anchorage. So it's 150 miles. You fly through in a small plane through glacier passes. You get here. It's a tiny village. There's about 200 people here year round. Get on the boat, go out into this huge lake, and you don't see anybody for your whole trip. And so then, the trip is just about you, your family, whoever your group is. It's not about your couple thousand friends that you have along, which is fun as well. But this is a very different adventure. And just the beauty we have here, you can't describe it. You can't film it. You can't. There's the only way is to experience it. The mountains straight up, the snow at the top. You can see the glaciers back in the corner. Just waking up on the water, drinking your coffee. Just that sound. You can't. It rejuvenates you like nothing else can. And so to be able to share that with other people has been a huge blessing for us.
I can just imagine. And I've been on a cruise once, and I was like, it's very people-y. Not for me. I know a lot of people love it, but it's just too people-y. But I love this because it's not like they're covering, here's the entire coast of Alaska. It's on this lake. You're really getting a feel, like an experience of that lake, of that being in a spot that very few humans have ever been in. That's got to be just mind-blowing. And the beauty, like, it's so different from any other national park in the United States. Like, this is a truly unique experience, and I'm using that word with intent. It was like, there's nothing like this.
My wife calls it her happy place.
Oh, I love it. That's so great. I mean, it could have gone the other way. We're like, Dennis, forget this. I don't like it. There were bear prints. And you're in a place of such stark beauty. There are things that can kill you here, and you're fine. You're on this, what has it been like for your guests that have come? Like, I just picture that you have to have them pick up their jaws because somebody's going to trip on that. Like, it's just so stunning, right?
Yeah, you're just experiencing it every day, and you're in that. And for them, you don't have to contemplate it and think, I'm experiencing this. You're just enjoying it. That is the moment. It's not trying to create the moment. It is the moment. And just that ability to spend that time and that experience with your family or your friends that you have with you is something that they've loved.
That's amazing. And how many people can you bring in one party?
6. So we're licensed for up to 6 guests at a time, and that works out well because we have three guest cabins.
Oh, good.
Each with a queen size bed in it, and each with their own bathroom and shower and everything. So it's it's well laid out. So you could have 3 couples, or grandparents, parents, and a couple of kids, or there's different ways you could work that out. And we could, you can, depending on the group. You could have, because we have bean bags, so you could have someone sleeping in the salon as well if 2 people weren't comfortable in the same bed. So there's ways around that as well. But ideally, 3 couples or a family that fits well into 3 beds works the best.
Oh, that's
and
so
we
cool.
do buy the cabin as well. So for couples that want to travel that don't want to hire the whole boat, we can rent them just one cabin and do that. And a lot of times, because we're starting, it's still just their adventure because, we don't have the volume yet to fill the rest of that. So that's something that's kind of cool for, you take out a couple that's never seen this, that's their once in a lifetime, their bucket list Alaska trip, and it's theirs.
That's amazing. And then are you guys cooking for the guests, or people cooking for
themselves? Yeah, so it's either my wife and I can crew, but because we're working full time, we hire a crew in the summer as well. So it's a couple that is because the boat has 4 cabins. So one cabin on the boat is for the crew, which is a couple that, runs the boat and does all the cooking and cleaning and all the stuff that has to be done. So the food's provided. Once you get here, you don't need anything. You're just relaxing and enjoying it. And then depending on, your lifestyle and energy levels. We can do some pretty intense hiking, but you can just sit on the bean bags on the front deck and watch the water go by all day too. Read a book. But there's some really cool waterfalls that we like to hike up to. That's pretty amazing.
That sounds like really, really scenic. All right, so I was just picturing, I don't know, I was like, so you can like land the boat, like on beach it a little bit and go hike, or
we have an inflatable dinghy.
Oh, that makes sense then. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just bought a new one. We had a 14-foot and we just got a 16-foot with a 60-horse motor on it. So it's basically a skiff on its own.
Yeah.
That we keep on the back deck, and we can lower it down into the water. So we'll anchor offshore just a little bit, and that's where where Odyssey is. And then when we're going ashore, we'll take the little boat ashore and do all our adventures and then come back.
Oh, that is amazing.
And one of the places we really like going is up to Little Lake Clark, which is a lake that's connected to Lake Clark. It's up at the head of it, but it's just a sandbar and a little stream that connect them. So we can't take Odyssey up there, but we can take the dinghy up there.
Okay.
And so we try to spend a full day up there. We'll anchor at the head of the lake. The next day we'll go up there. And that's one of our favorite waterfalls. You follow the stream up, and we call it a false cave. There's just a huge hollowed out area behind it. And you get close to it, and the mist is just pounding you. It's a powerful, tall waterfall, and you get there, and it just makes for such a great day.
It really would.
And then
wow.
And then you go back, you get back at the end of the day, Odyssey's there. You got, you're still on the water, but you got your warm cabin, you got hot showers, you got all that sort of stuff you want after a day adventuring, that if you're out, in a tent, you're not really getting that.
You really have the best of both worlds on this. So they can go literally hike something that very few humans have ever even set foot on. And you have this totally amazing experience and adventure, and then come home and have, like hot shower. And that's not happening in a tent usually. So that's, wow. What are people saying when they, I just can imagine, like, their minds must be blown if this has been an object on their bucket list,
right?
Now they're actually doing it, and I would imagine that it's infinitely better than anything they even imagined it would be.
Yeah, they love it, and they always regret not being able to stay longer. That's good and bad. I mean, you want people wanting more. You don't want them being like, I wish I'd left yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, timing is important, right?
Yeah. No, but there's everybody's sad to go, and they love it.
Oh, that's so great. Are most of the people coming up from the lower 48, or are you getting? Canada, I'm sure, a lot of people. But we've had
a mix of people from Alaska, and people from the lower 48. We haven't had any international yet, but we're just starting. I think it would be a great opportunity for international travelers that really want to see one of those unique spaces.
Yeah.
But then the Alaska people in Alaska are kind of nice, because they can schedule something kind of last minute and pick the weather more. You don't have to plan months in advance. You can be like, do you have an opening next month? Oh yeah, there's this weekend we could do it. Yeah. And then they can come out, and they're not worried about all those flights and all the other stuff. It's a quicker family trip for them that way.
For sure. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. And so how did you, I know you didn't come out of the womb doing this. We talked a little bit before the show started, but what has your journey been that you ended up where you are doing what you're doing?
So, it's been a long journey. When I was 17, I came up for a summer job. I'd already gotten my associate's degree. I kind of did that when I started school young, but I didn't have any goals for a 4-year degree or career. I was like, before I start that, I need to get an adventure out of my life, because once you start a career, you can't do that. Once you're in that grind in a career, you can't just go to Alaska for a summer. It's So I was like, I can do that now. And so I came up, I worked for a summer. I loved it. I loved the company I worked for, the family. And I went home that winter, packed up, said goodbye to my family and everything. Came back the next summer, and I've been here year round ever since. And as an aircraft mechanic, I apprenticed, got my licenses, became an inspector, ran the shop for a while, and then I'm doing more projects now, which I really enjoy, rebuilding airplanes, kind of the older, planes from the 40s and 50s.
Oh, wow.
That are, they're getting old, so they need some newer pieces.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of sheet metal work and that sort of stuff, which then transitioned into, I really wanted a boat on the lake here. And I wanted my son to learn how to grow up knowing how to do things. We live in the village here, and it's beautiful. You can see everything. There's a few hiking trails that we take advantage of, but you can't really get out on the water, because we live in a national park with a huge lake. It's 60-ish miles long. You can't hike that. So you need a boat. And that's what we did. So we built a boat. The family would start camping, and we'd go all over the lake camping and exploring. And one morning after we got back from hiking, there were bear prints all around our tent. My she says, it'd be kind of nice if we were camping out in the water a little ways. And so that's
Bears
what we
can
did.
Swim. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. Wow. And so I would imagine it's a fairly short season for you though, right?
Yeah, so we launch mid-June, and we can take guests. Probably the last week of June would be the first time we wanted to promise anybody that was traveling. We could do something mid-June for someone from Alaska that, could reschedule, but we don't want to overpromise. So last week of June through the last week of September. Mm-hmm. So really 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's light all the time. So you've got 20 to 23 hours worth of daylight each of those days you're here to just enjoy it. And it's crazy, that sun gives you energy.
Wow.
You don't feel tired in the summer here.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I guess with the circadian rhythms and all, so much of our bodies respond to light and dark. So if that is different, then we would respond differently. But
yeah.
That's wild. My goodness. What is your long-term dream for this?
Long-term dream would be to get it to become a successful business that our son could take over if he wanted to. The idea being, my wife and I, we'd like to travel. We want, the fantasy is to sail around the world.
Ooh.
And in a boat similar to this, but not this boat. To get this boat, it was pretty much a one-way trip to get this boat here. Just with all the logistics of getting it here. We bought it in the British Virgin Islands.
Oh, wow.
We had to have the keel shortened when we bought it so that it could even get up the river to the lake below us. It was about a 3-month journey to get it to sail from the British Virgin Islands through the Panama Canal, past the Galapagos Islands, west for weeks, then up to Hawaii, did some repairs in Hawaii, reprovisioned, sailed it up to Alaska, through the Alaska chain, the island chain, into the Bering Sea. And then from the Bering Sea, motored up the Kvichak River into Lake Iliamna. And that Kvichak River was, I don't know, do you know much about the Alaska fishing fleet?
I don't.
So I'm sure you've seen the reality shows.
Like Deadliest Catch or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all in the Bering Sea. And the fishing fleet, they keep their boats in Homer, but they fish in the Bering Sea. And Alaska it's on the other side of Alaska. So they'd have to go thousands of miles around to get there. We froze up. Oh, there you are. And so what they do is they go straight across, and they drive all the boats over a mountain into Lake Iliamna. And then they go down Lake Iliamna, down the river, the Kvichak River, to the Bering Sea. So we kind of did that in reverse and came up that river. Wow. But because that river changes, there's a couple of guys that they're river pilots. They guide those boats up and down to make sure they don't hit sandbars and things. So I talked to them before I bought the boat, found out, what realistically we could bring up. Is this going to be too wide? Is it going to be too deep? Because if we get there and it doesn't come up the river, that'd be bad.
That'd be a tough realization at that point.
3 months after you bought it, you can't even get it here.
Yeah.
So they said we needed a boat that would draft 4 feet or less. And that's why we ended up getting the keels cut down when we bought it. And that was a miracle in itself, because you don't just buy a boat and cut the keels down. But the manufacturer approved it. The manufacturer approved it, and they had the molds there where the boat was to do it. And so the boatyard there did it in a week and a half. I mean, it was crazy how everything fell together for this. Got up to Lake Iliamna, and then the trailer we had bought was delayed. It was supposed to come on a barge, and the barges were broke down all summer. So this is the end of September. I wanted it out of the water by October 1st.
Oh.
So the boats in Lake Iliamna, which is 35, 40 miles from here, no roads, so if it's there and we live here, and it's brand new to us, I had a lot of projects I needed to do on it that winter.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been able to. The trailer got there first week of October. We hauled it out. The modifications to the trailer to match that boat weren't up to snuff. The trailer got bent and couldn't be used. So it got the boat out of the water, but we couldn't haul it. So we brought a guy out. We spent a full day, probably 24 hours straight, working on it, and got it welded and bent back in shape and everything. Got the boat loaded back up on it, started up the road, made it about a mile, and all 4 tires on the trailer blew.
Oh no.
And they're specialty tires.
Of course.
So we're searching for them. You can't find them anywhere. Finally, like after 3 or 4 days, we found some in California. We FedExed overnight 4 tires, 6 inner tubes up. 3 of them made it. The 4th one is still 3 years later, has never been found. Oh, no. So we bought a 5th tire, overnighted it up, got the tires changed, got the boat loaded up again, started, and it's a 17-mile portage between. Yeah, you're there. I thought you froze for a second.
No, I'm just in shock.
It's a 17-mile portage from Lake Iliamna to Lake Clark, and it's not paved roads. This is a potholed gravel. It's just a road between 2 villages, and we had a crew went in front of us. They were cutting down signs and trees to make sure that we could fit, because the boat's wider than the road. And it took us from 9 in the morning until 7 that night to get into the water for 17 miles. And we ended up changing 3 or 4 inner tubes during that day, getting punctures and stuff along the way. I mean, I aged probably 20 years that day.
No kidding. Yeah, you're actually like 30 years old, but.
And so we got it in the water. A friend with a small barge here met us down there. We loaded the trailer up. It's dark by that time. Because this is late October now, almost a month later than we had planned. But it'd been a crazy summer. It'd been raining all summer. Water levels were high. I mean, record water levels, because normally we wouldn't have been able to do any of this. Mm-hmm. And he met us with a barge. We loaded the trailer up on it in the dark. He tied the barge off. Then we used the barge as our docked the boat to it, tied off for the night. And now we're in the water, because we had been doing all this work trying to get it ready, had been up on the hard. And so you can't run anything. You can't run the generator because it needs water. And so we're basically camping, and it was freezing every night. So you're camping in the freezing, no heat, no anything. We get it in the water, start up the generator, run the heaters. We have the stoves going. We have all the food we want. We're just living large. And we sleep really good, get up the next morning, make coffee, nice big breakfast, have the barge driver over with us, hanging out. And then he went ahead of us up the river, and we followed and stayed on the radio with him. So he guided us, made sure we stayed out of the shallow spots, got through 6 Mile Lake and then into Lake Clark, but on the autopilot and headed for home. About 3 or 4 hours later, we're in front of Port Allsworth, and I didn't know it. And my wife was here, just stressed out the whole time, no way to call each other because there's no cell service. She doesn't know what's going on, but she told a friend at church, who then ended up posting it on Facebook, and it ends up the whole community was out when we pulled into the bay. The whole village was there, and they were setting off fireworks and cheering, and it was because the boat had been coming for 3 or 4 months. They knew it was coming. And it's a boat. I mean, it's the first boat like that that's ever been here.
Oh my God.
It was brought it, and then we hauled out that same day. So the boat was only in the water on Lake Clark one day that year.
Wow.
Got it hauled up next to our house, and 2 days got it winterized, and 2 days later it froze really hard. If we hadn't gotten it winterized, we would have damaged a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, you couldn't plan a story like that. You couldn't plan each of those steps if you tried.
No. I mean, the suspense, that is nuts. You must have been just like what kept you going at any point in this could have been like, oh, well, this is not going to work. What
there were a lot of defeating periods, but I mean, you're pretty committed at that point.
You're all in at that point. It's go get this done.
No, I'm like, we got to do it.
Wow. That is amazing.
It was such a relief to get it here next to the house. And then, then we're in my comfort zone, doing all the modifications to it, getting it ready for Alaska, putting, diesel heaters in it, and getting the waste treatment systems all up to snuff, and adding solar and all that stuff. I love doing that. I love, engineering and figuring out how everything's going to work just perfectly and all of that. And so then the next summer, we launched it. Everything went great. And that summer, we pretty much just did family and friends. So that was summer of 22 is the summer it got here. So it got here October of 22. So then summer of 23, we went out and figured out how we would use it on the lake, where's there's good spots to anchor, what we can do, figure out itineraries for guests. And then last summer was our first, quote, commercial year. And so, we didn't have a lot of guests, but we had enough that, we figured out they like it as much as us.
That's good.
And then, so then this year, hopefully it just grows from there.
Oh man, that's so great. So what are you doing for marketing?
I'm on Alaska.org and Travel Alaska are two Alaska travel sites. Mm-hmm. And then I try to post videos and pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and we have a website, but that's about it. Marketing is definitely something I need to learn. It's my weakest point. I'm not I'm an introvert. I'm not a people person.
Right.
We've created this amazing thing. And so now the next step is just finding, figuring out how to find people that want to find it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Being findable by the people who are looking, and planting the idea in those who hadn't even had any idea that this could possibly be a thing. But that's really cool. And I'll tell you, so even marketers will probably tell you, but in my experience, the hardest business to market for or to write for is your own. You're so close to it that it's hard to how to do. Yeah. Because you see what's great about it. You've seen the look on people's faces and all, and it's hard to convey that,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. It sounds like an incredible experience. Do you still have some spots available for 2025?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great. Well, I think that people ought to head over there and go.
Yeah.
Where do they find out about, so somebody who's hearing this and they are dying to go, where are they going to connect with you?
The easiest way is just to go to lakeclarkalaska.com and fill out a contact form, and I'll get to you in less than 24 hours. Usually within a couple hours, but I do a lot of things, so I can't guarantee that, but usually pretty quick we're back. back answering any questions.
That's really cool. All right. What is
And
the
then, of
favorite?
course,
Okay.
following us on Instagram and Facebook at Sailing Lake Clark.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great. All right. Now, for the foodies who like, there's always the foodies who want to travel as well. What's the best thing that they might expect to eat while they're there?
Well, we have a different crew each year, so each cook has kind of their own specialties, and so we're not, we don't say you have to cook this, but
right.
I like steak.
Who doesn't,
so steak on the grill.
Yeah.
Steak on the grill is for me is the best thing. But they usually do some pretty nice, they do like charcuterie cups instead of the big board. They'll do them in cups for each person as they're getting on. So that's pretty nice when you've been traveling. You don't really want something heavy, but you get, you get on, you're tired, you need something to refresh you. So a little bit of fruit, a little bit of meat and cheese, and that's pretty nice.
Nice.
But we're not 5-star chefs.
Right.
Don't want to oversell. But
no. But there's something about being on the water and
yeah.
And eat,
and they put a lot of effort into it, so it's presented well. It's it's good hearty food. It's probably, I guess you could say, probably more traditional Alaskan hearty than New York City.
right. Well, as you would expect. That's wonderful. Well, that sounds incredible, Dennis. Man, that is amazing. I just my mind is blown. I can only imagine what it must be like there, and seeing the things that you get to see while you're on the water, and that's just wow, lifetime experience type of thing. So that's really
and
cool.
with spring coming and the sun coming out more, I'm ready for it.
You're jonesing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, only a few months from the time we were recording to when you're up and running again.
Yeah.
Man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. And this is, readers and listeners, viewers, this is, if you are at all interested in Alaska, this might be the way to do it, especially if you don't want all people-y,
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
Anytime.